$41,000. That's how much my mother gave a man and his daughter. Just to feel chosen. That same man, the one she gave everything to, showed her exactly what she was worth to him the moment she stopped being useful. That same daughter, the one my mother chose over her own son again and again in ways she didn't even notice she was choosing, disappeared so completely it was like my mother had never existed at all. And on the day she had nothing left, no house, no savings, no plan, no one, she dialed the one number she had spent 14 months learning to ignore. Mine. My name is Caleb Morrison. I'm 26 years old, so let me take you back to where it actually began. Because the call only makes sense if you understand what came before it. Columbus, Ohio. My parents divorced when I was 11. Dad moved to Cincinnati. We stayed close, called weekly, visited monthly. Mom, Sandra Morrison, 48, raised me mostly alone after that. She worked as an office administrator at a dental group, $47,000 a year. We lived in a 2-bedroom rental in Westerville. Nothing fancy. But she came to everything. Every school presentation, every awkward high school art show, every moment that mattered. She was present. That was what I knew about her. She showed up. Then in 2021, she met Troy Lawson. Dating app. First date at a steakhouse downtown. She came home and told me he was different. Substantial. Had his own landscaping company. Owned a house in Gahanna. Troy was 51. Broad, loud, the kind of man who filled rooms with his own commentary. He had a daughter, Brianna, 22, polished, careful with appearances, the kind of girl who photographed every meal and called it content. She worked part-time at a boutique in Easton Town Center and spent the rest of her time being Troy's favorite audience. The first year was fine. My mom dated him, I stayed in my apartment, things were separate enough to be manageable. They got married October 2022. Small ceremony. I stood beside my mom, smiled in the photos. By January 2023, the shape of things had changed. Sunday dinners, which had been ours for years, just the two of us, takeout and bad television, became group events at Troy's house in Gahanna. Troy at the head of the table, Brianna talking about her Instagram, her style, a trip she wanted to take, a guy she was seeing. My mom listening with the focused attention she used to give me. I sat at those dinners for 4 months, said less each time, nobody asked why. March of 2023, my apartment lease ended. I needed 2 weeks, just 2 weeks. While I waited for my new place to be ready, I called my mom. "Let me check with Troy," she said. I waited 3 hours. "He says it's not really a good time," she said. "Brianna's using the guest room and Troy has a client thing." "It's fine," I said. "Don't worry about it." I stayed with my coworker Derek for 2 weeks, slept on his couch, told nobody. My mom didn't ask where I'd ended up. I noticed that, filed it, my 25th birthday, November 2023. I waited. The day passed, then the next. Then 3 days later, the balloon emoji. Happy belated, things have been crazy. I stared at it for a long time, sent back a thumbs up. Christmas in 20 degrees 23. I drove to Gahanna with gifts, wrapped carefully. A leather wallet for Troy, a book for Brianna she'd mentioned once, a cashmere scarf for my mom that cost me $90. We opened gifts after dinner. Brianna went last. My mom handed her a box. Brianna lifted the lid. A designer handbag, Kate Spade. I'd seen the same one at Easton, $280 minimum. "Sandra, oh my God," Brianna said. She actually called her Sandra. Not Mom, not anything warm. Just her name, like a transaction. "This is so cute," my mom beamed, the way she used to beam at me. My gift from her was a candle set, 3 candles in a craft paper box, $40 at most. I know, because I'd seen the same set at Target the week before. She watched me open it. "I know you like nice smells," she said. "I do," I said. "Thank you." I drove home at 8 p.m. Troy and Brianna were still talking when I left. My mom walked me to the door. "Drive safe," she said. "Always," I said. I sat in my car in their driveway for about 90 seconds. Then I drove home. January 2024. I stopped initiating contact, didn't announce it. Didn't send an explanation, just stopped texting first, stopped calling first, stopped showing up. She texted occasionally. Thinking of you! Heart emoji. Troy grilled last night. You would have loved it. I responded with short, warm, true nothing. Sounds good. Been busy. Talk soon. I wasn't angry. That surprised me. What I had instead was something quieter. A kind of tiredness that comes from finally stopping the effort to be seen by someone who isn't looking. While I was doing this, just stopping. I was also building something. I'd been doing freelance graphic design since 2022. Nights, weekends. My day job was graphic designer at a marketing firm in Columbus, $58,000 a year. The freelance started as extra income, became something else gradually. By mid-2024, the freelance was pulling $3,200 a month. I hadn't changed my lifestyle. Same apartment, same car, same grocery store. Just let the money accumulate. October 2024. I gave notice at the firm, went full-time freelance, told nobody in my family. First month on my own, $6,800. Second month, $8,100. By December, I had 17 active clients and a waiting list. I kept working, kept it quiet, kept it mine. February 2025 is when things moved. A former employee of Troy's landscaping company filed a wage complaint with the Ohio State Labor Board, then 2 more. Back wages owed. $34,000 total. The Labor Board opened a formal investigation. What came out over the following weeks, Troy's company had been struggling for over a year. He'd been covering gaps with money from his personal account, supplemented significantly by my mother. She'd given him $41,000 over the 18 months, transfers she'd understood as investments in their shared future. The house in Gahanna, titled solely in Troy's name from before the marriage. Ohio is not a community property state. She had no automatic claim. The part that finished it, Brianna had known, had watched her father take my mother's savings month by month, said nothing, had in fact helped Troy establish a new LLC, Lawson Property Services, and quietly transfer remaining equipment and active client contracts before the collapse became public. Troy and Brianna were co-owners of the new company. My mother was not mentioned in any filing. Troy served her divorce papers in March 2025. My mom called me on a Thursday afternoon, March 13th. I saw her name on my screen. Let it ring twice. Answered. Caleb! Her voice was completely different. I need to talk to you. Okay, I said. She told me everything. Troy, the divorce, the money. Brianna's silence. The girl she'd bought a Kate Spade bag for at Christmas. The girl she'd given the guest room while her own son slept on a coworker's couch. The house she couldn't claim. She was staying at a friend's place in Westerville. $6,200 in her checking account. A car. The clothes she'd moved out with. I listened to all of it without interrupting. When she finished, I said, I'm sorry this happened to you. I genuinely am. I don't know where to start, she said. I know, I said. Silence. Caleb, I need... She started. Mom, I said quietly, I need to say something first. She waited. When I needed 2 weeks on your couch in March 2023, you checked with Troy and called me back 3 hours later to say it wasn't a good time. I slept on Derek's couch and you never asked where I ended up. I kept my voice even. When I turned 25, you forgot completely, texted me 3 days later with a balloon emoji. At Christmas, you bought Brianna a $280 handbag and me a $40 candle set, and you didn't notice the difference. She said nothing. Brianna called you Sandra, I said. Not Mom, Sandra. Like you were staff. And you beamed at her anyway. A long silence. I know, she said very quietly. I'm going to send you some information, I said. Women's Fund of Central Ohio. They do free consultations, housing resources, legal referrals for divorce cases. They're legitimate. I already looked them up. I paused. That's what I can give you right now. Okay, she said. Smaller than I'd ever heard her. I love you, I said. That hasn't changed. But I'm not the person to rescue you when everything falls apart, if I wasn't the person you remembered when things were fine. We hung up. I sent the link. Sat at my desk for a while, didn't open my laptop, just sat. She texted the next day. Thank you. I made an appointment, I replied. Good. Let me know how it goes. That was 6 weeks ago. She's been to 3 appointments. Has a part-time administrative job now, $19 an hour, familiar territory. Looking at a studio in Westerville. Starting over at 48. Brianna hasn't called her once. My freelance business is at $9,400 a month. Hiring a part-time contractor next month. Nobody in my family knew until it was already built. Here's what I know now. The people who move you to the edge of their lives never announce it. They just stop making room, one small choice at a time, until you realize the space that they once held for you has been quietly filled by someone else. And by then, the distance is already permanent. My mother didn't choose Troy over me in one dramatic moment. She chose him in 100 small ones. The couch she didn't offer. The birthday she forgot. The gift that told me exactly what I was worth in that household without anyone having to say it. And Brianna, the girl my mother bought handbags for, gave the guest room to, beamed at across dinner tables. Watched her father drain my mother's savings and said nothing. Called her Sandra. Took her name off every document that mattered. My mother wanted to be chosen. She wanted it so badly she didn't notice she was being used. She confused someone needing her money with someone valuing her presence. Those are not the same thing. They have never been the same thing. Here's what I want you to take from this. The people who make you invisible when life is comfortable will make you central when life falls apart, not because they have changed, because they need something again. That is not love. That is just need, wearing love's face. You are allowed to help from a distance. You are allowed to send a link to a resource center and mean it genuinely, and still not pour your rebuilt life into someone who forgot your birthday and bought someone else a designer handbag. Boundaries are not walls. They are just honest descriptions of what you can give without destroying what you built while no one was watching. My mother is rebuilding. I am too. On parallel tracks that may meet or may not. Either way, I know what I built. I built it in the margins of a life where I've been treated like a margin. No one gave it to me. No one can take it back. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and tell me which country you're watching from. I love hearing from all of you. Subscribe so you never miss these stories about quiet rebuilds, honest distances, and understanding that being made invisible by someone you love doesn't mean you disappear. It means you build somewhere they can't reach. New story every single day. See you in the next one. Take care.